BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's looking at the price action on Dixie and Bitcoin. Best way to explain in price action at the moment would be it's pretty lame, pretty dead really. In all fairness, when it comes to just general sideways, boring movement. 3 days in a row, more or less unchanged. Working on the fourth day now. Traditional market's been S&P basically came all the way down to like a major support on the daily, which is your 200 exponential moving average. We've tagged it. We had an anemic bounce yesterday. Obviously, we're not open yet. You can have a look over here on the on the futures pre-market basically, and yeah, there is an alleviating bounce. This is what we were saying on the live stream last night, saying okay, as far as stocks are concerned, yeah, you might see a bounce at this level maybe, and it might be enough to take us back up to at least the breakdown zone, about 4,320, 25 thereabouts. Nothing more than that to begin with, or we shouldn't expect any more than that. If we look at the Dixie, it doesn't seem as obvious on the daily here. We'll take it to a 4-hourly. There is a trend line of resistance that has been respected. It's an ascending trend line of resistance, so obviously take that for what it's worth. You could look at that as a rising wedge if you want to. You could look at it in all kinds of different ways, but basically there is some form of resistance brewing. But is there? Oh my God, it's so busy for me around here today. There's a likely possibility that we start to see a rounded top generated throughout the rest of the week that might see a bit of a pullback, only in the context of a bullish chart, because again we've been saying how bullish this is. Bullish chart, golden crosses all the way on the daily, so maybe we pull back to the 105.3, which was the resistance, and that might be at some point between maybe today towards the end of the week, but other than that, Dixie bullish. We're starting to see the effects on things like gold. Basically, gold breaking down now below its major support stroke resistance trend line here. So not a good look for gold. Gold really feeling the pinch now from the rising dollar. And why is the dollar rising? Because of the recession, which we're already in, but now people are using the word. It's becoming more of a real thing. So look, gold's I wouldn't say a no-go zone. Each one of these areas on the way down is worthy of an attempt to try and take a position on gold, but I mean, you're supposed to trade a trend really. So at the moment there is only one trend, and it's down. So yeah, Bitcoin basically, long story short, we're above this this buy zone. You could consider it to be a buy zone, I suppose. 25,360 to 26,000 flat. There is a chance that we get picked up at any part of this area. Again, the Bollinger Band on the daily, the bottom area of the band sits around that 25,500 area. So all of that has a reasonable chance of a bounce back into this boring range, with a top target of a bounce towards about 27,000, which is just a retest of a death cross. The death cross formed here on exponentials at this point, really. So yeah, I mean, like I say, sideways trend is what's most likely. We still have the upwards trend support of the RSI, so momentum possibly looking for another run. Not an enormous run at this point. You know, bit by bit, you can incrementally expect higher if and when we break above certain areas. But we've got a death cross here, a death cross here. These areas do like to get tested. I would expect a test up towards 27,000 rather than a breakdown below our, at least this area here, this 25,350. Major support coming in at 24,350. So more or less, it looks like increments effectively of $1,000 up or down, which basically makes it sideways. Remember, I've been saying for donkey's years now that the accumulation for Bitcoin is going to be between 20,000 and 40,000. So we're towards the lower end of that accumulation at the moment. So if you did want to buy Bitcoin or start dollar cost average or continue to dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, then it's fine, right? It's fine to do that. Now, the main sort of scare would be how bullish the dollar goes, right? And if you were to zoom right out, we still have this huge epic channel on the dollar that's been in existence for a long time, which points to, you know, possible moves eventually into the teens, back up to 100, towards 120, we could say, but too early to say all of that, because there is conflicting things on this chart. First of all, we do have a short signal that was generated back down here at the lows. And again, this is a weekly, so you got to ride with it, for a long period of time to see if that actually plays. But regardless of the short signal, if you want to play it or not, we are sitting in the cloud, which is no trade zone. We're above all major moving averages with nothing but a golden cross retest on a weekly, so a decent area for a bounce. We've got a breakout of a descending triangle, which is again broken out in a decent place. So it does look quite bullish for the dollar moving forward. We're above the 0 point for the MACD, which again adds clear momentum on the higher term time frame. So there is evidence, I would say, to say that Dixie could actually go for a run to a new local high given to us by this clean and steady and long-standing trend line, this channel basically. But if it does do that, given that every time we've hit this over the last 15 years we have a savage reaction, that could be where we start to go hard and heavy. But until we get there, pain. Lots of pain. So we shouldn't expect it, but we should think about it as a very realistic possibility that can happen. But right now, bit by bit, short-term timeframes suggest a small, pathetic bounce today, and see if that can give us any form of legs. Otherwise, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and the trend is unfortunately up for Dixie, down for everybody else on the higher term time frames. Right, that is basically it. I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.